Mr. Jaitley, I want to point out one more issue before we end this issue on the RBI, which is the accusation against you made by your predecessor, Mr. Chidambaram, just 2 days ago. Mr. Chidambaram says that it was the bitter pill of demonetization which caused a collapse of the MSME, the micro, small and medium enterprises, for which you want a bailout package from the RBI. What would you say?
Well, I think there is, let us ask on basis of empirical evidence, in the last several years, even before demonetization, what is the condition of the MSMEs? The MSMEs were not getting banking finance, and the chief culprit of this is the UPA government. What is the reason? Between 2008 and 2014, the total lending of the banks as on 2008 was 18 lakh crores. After the global slowdown 2008, when the Lehman crisis took place and the slowdown started, the UPA devised a very dangerous formula. Let's banks, public sector banks, throw open their kitties to one and for all. Indiscriminate lending, this 15 to 18 lakh crores went up to 55 lakh crores by 2014. No securitized, no viability of projects, no ability to service the debt. This is what created the NPA problem. And I have always said even the regulator did not act. Now what they did was that instead of giving an accurate figure as to what the NPAs because of this excessive lending were, they said in 2014 the NPAs are 2.5 lakh crores. Dr. Rajan, in consultation with the government, appointed an asset quality review immediately after the new government took over and found out that this was 8.5 lakh crores. So this lending led to the collapse as far as NPAs were concerned. What is the consequence? How do you restore the health back?
So which the Congress now says is 12 crores, 12 lakh crores.
Because interest also mounts up on unpaid money.
Okay, so it's not NPAs created during your regime.
This is now 8.5 becomes 12 over a period of 4-5 years because interest also mounts up. So you
so the NDA has no NPAs.
Actually, no, you see, if some project goes wrong, but it is during this period, let's go to the core problem. Let's not trivialize it. Trivialization is Rahul Gandhi's prerogative, not in a serious discussion. Now, this becomes over a period of time with interest, it can only increase. Every scheme devised by the Reserve Bank was motivated to get some monies back. They devised various schemes, well-intentioned. Unfortunately, they didn't work. IBC is the first system which is working. These are early days, but the early signs are it's working. What have we done on this? The defaulting management is thrown out of business on the day one. A resolution professional takes place. It literally in Hindi means that those who have defaulted, unko diwaliya declare kar dena, company mein se bahar nikal dena, and then get the new people to come and take over the management through a bidding process, the NCLT process. Now, the banks, therefore, having lost this money, the RBI put some conditionalities on banks as to what the capital requirements are, etc. In 2 installments, we have fed into this bank 70,000 crores and 2,12,000 crores as capital. The second exercise is still work in progress. If need be, we will put in more so that they are strengthened. Their lending ability got curtailed. So they stopped lending to whom? To real estate. Housing is necessary in this country. To MSMEs. So where did the MSMEs and the real estate people, where do they go? So post demonetization, a relief came to these two sectors. Quite absolute opposite of what some of the high priests are saying. How did the opposite happen? Because when all these lakhs of crores, that is this 14-15 lakh crore money, cash went into the banking system because it was a compulsory deposit, immediately the monies available from the banks to the mutual funds went up. So if you had cash and you deposited that in the bank, to get a higher interest, you then cut out a check and put it in the mutual fund. So suddenly the mutual fund swelled. And then a big market of the non-banking financial companies started, the NBFCs. So the real estate lending, the flat buyers lending, the developers lending and the MSME lending is now coming for the last couple of years from the NBFCs more than it is coming from the banks. And that is why we find that these sectors have become stressed, because there is a genuine liquidity problem there. And we want that liquidity problem to be maintained because they are also doing the credit business, that sector. Now, those who created the problem from 2008 to 14 are trying to make suggestions which are unsustainable and which sabotage this alternative model. The alternative model is, till such time the health of the banks is restored to lend to these sectors, this alternative lending sector should also remain curtailed. Why should that happen?